stay clear out first. So, hello everyone. So nice to have you here. Thank you for attending. I think we all know what I'm roughly going to be talking about. And nice to have you here. Just huge respect for the previous talk as well. I have been to a vigil myself and they are a hard affair, but hopefully we can shift the tone a little bit, because while obviously we have the very serious, the respectful and the difficult parts of veganism, there's also the more practical elements and the things that we can perhaps, have a little bit of a smile and a cheeky laugh about as well, because there's always that element. And the things we're going to talk about to some degree can be a bit humorous, or people can find humour and enjoyment in them. So hopefully we can move forward with that sort of thing. So before we do go too far, and I'll just check the PowerPoint, get it all sorted. There we go. Is it working? Sorry guys, technical issues. Just got to skip through. Here's our lovely tech guy. He's a sweetheart. There's always something wrong with the PowerPoint. Is it going through? Way, there we go. Not on the mouse, that's okay. I'll use the pad. And still not. I'll have you back. There's a bit of a back and forth going on. I like it. This is actually the face the computer's making right now. That one on the end. There we go. Brilliant. So just a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm going to assume that you're all over 16. This is a talk that is only available for those who are over 16, and you need to be over 18 in the UK to officially buy sex toys from a shop. So over 16s can attend this talk, over 18s can enact the purchase of adult products. Obviously you can get condoms at a younger age. Thank you for that. But a little bit more on that later, so disclaimers out of the way. And I thought I'd introduce myself a little bit more before we went too far forward with the talk. So, hello everyone, my name is emmelinepeaches, bless you my dear. A little bit about me, I have a doctorate of philosophy, so I got the fancy PhD that I don't like to tell too many people about, but we've got a picture of me there in the ridiculous orange robes. I'm certified in vegan nutrition, so I don't just talk about adult wellness, I talk about wellness in general, and I consult about wellness as well. I love dogs, as we all do I'm sure. And I'm also an internationally renowned adult product reviewer and blogger. I have reviewed over 400 adult products. I lost specific count, you'll have to forgive me there. And yeah, shocked faces. It's a bit ridiculous at times. I have some stories, let me put it that way. And you can ask me whatever you want in the Q&A, because we can go places together. We can go to some interesting places after this talk. But let's keep it to the strict stuff right now. I've been featured by Channel 4, so I was in one of their short adult programs. I have done writing for Cosmo, for Elle, for some online publications, and I haven't always been vegan. So while I was doing my PhD actually still, I was lover of animal products and cakes and everything, and Doctor Who, it should be said. So I thought that the best treat I could possibly have was a steak at the end of the day and all of that. We've all been there for the most part. I loved animals, but I didn't make the connection. But when you're doing a PhD, and my PhD did focus on animal and human relations to some degree, it was actually looking at representations of canines in visual culture in the Victorian period. So I tell people I'm not a doctor, I'm a doctor. But as I was doing that, you start looking into these things more. You start looking at the relationships. You see how it's so social, how it's so culturally constructed, and you think to yourself eventually, no, I can't live by my ethics and my animal loving and be vegan, not vegan, and eat them. So I decided to be vegan because that is the way to go. And so I did the whole vegan thing, and I still love my food. But now it's a mango that I'll go for rather than the big cake with the Daleks on. You can see I got this for Christmas, so we have a picture there. And I do love to do some physical activity and represent in the gym as well, and at various events like that. So that's where I'm coming from. And as I transitioned to veganism, and as I was an adult blogger, one day I thought to myself, are all of these products vegan? I mean, there were some obvious things, the whips, some of them weren't, the paddles, the beautiful leather corsets, unfortunately not vegan, but wait a minute, this condom that I've just got to review, it said vegan on it. A condom's not vegan by default. And I started to think about these things. And it's funny because this is titled Are Condoms Vegan? But really, what about every adult product out there? And I have an anecdote actually. Quite recently, sorry if I keep on checking the time, but I got some lube from a friend and it was just a free thing. And I thought, well, I'll review this because I've got the spare time. And it was Ann Summers lubricant, silicone gel, basic thing. We all go into Ann Summers as a default if we're thinking adult products, and you just go in there, you buy what's on the shelf, you trust that it's safe, you trust that it's not going to have animal products in it, you trust that it will take care of your body, serve the purpose that you want it to, and it's all going to be okay. But especially with silicone, because silicone doesn't have to not be vegan. A standard silicone lubricant should just be your silicone, and it's going to be fine. But I looked at these ingredients, and I was shocked. Propylene glycol. So propylene glycol is something I don't like as a standard because it irritates the body. So it's not nice to a person anyway. Aqua, it's water. But then glycerin, that can irritate the body as well. Isoparaffin, so paraffin. We have in here some ingredients that are formaldehyde forming, not good for the environment, not good for the body. Methylparaben, propylparaben. If ever you see a lubricant that says paraben, avoid it like the plague, because not only is it not good for the environment, but it is estrogen forming, and parabens have been linked to increases in breast cancer. So please do take care of yourself. But the one thing that really got to me here was that it mixed up blah 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 urea, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? So I looked into it, and it is the urine or other bodily substances of an animal in a silicone lubricant. It's something we're putting inside of our bodies. Is animal urine. What? Why? I mean, I know we get some cases of crisps that have milk powder, but this is a whole different level, because not only is that not vegan in terms of ingredients, but it's where you put it in your body and what it's going to do to your body. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And these are the things we might want to think of as a vegan, because we all know if you're an ethical vegan, you want to put that into practice in every part of your life. So I'm here to try and help you do that, because we wouldn't necessarily think about these things, but they are important to know, I believe. So I'm going to give you a little primer as to how we can make sure that our adult products aren't giving us animal urine. That's just a good standard, isn't it? Wouldn't that be lovely? So condoms. This is what we're going to start with. Most effective barrier for safer sex. Brilliant. I'm going to say an addendum here. Condoms, we're going to do condoms Condoms as well, which have gone out of fashion, but I don't think they should because they are fantastic. And we're going to say oral dams come under this category as well. Obviously, you want to avoid lambskin if you're going to be a vegan. I have tried lambskin when I was not a vegan. I think they're just generally good to avoid. But the one thing that makes latex condoms and obviously other latex adult items not vegan is that when they're softening it, it involves casein, which is obviously a milk derivative. So most of your standard latex condoms will not be vegan, unfortunately. So the way that we can hopefully get around this, wait, there are now vegan brands. So this is very specific. If you want to use latex condoms, you're probably going to have to opt for a vegan brand. And thankfully there are so many out there now. You've got Glide, you've got Sustain, you've got B condoms, you've got Hero condoms, you've got Fair Squares, and you've got Sir Richards. What I really, really love about Hero condoms in particular is that I didn't actually mention it on the last slide. It said, what about lubricants? The thing is, some condoms will come with a default lubricant on them as well. And as we found out, that's not always a good thing. So you've got to think about what lubricant is on your condom. Hero condoms are not just vegan, but they also do an unlubricated condom as well. So you can add your own lubricant from there. And what I love about them is that they will donate a condom for every condom that you have purchased from them to a country in need where they're trying to increase the sex barriers, which is fantastic. Sustain feels good, Heroes feels good, Glide feels good, Sir Richards feels fantastic. That is my appraisal added to those. So if you want to go the latex route, that's really the best way to go about it. But what if you don't want to? Or what if you want to have a better alternative, a different alternative? There are those as well. So, this is especially great if you have a latex allergy as well. We have latex alternatives now, polyisoprene and polyurethane. So both of those, because they're not latex, will avoid the softening process that includes casein. So, hey, accidentally vegan products. Woo. Yay! Of these, the best ones that you're going to be able to find on the market are Durex Real Feel and Skin. Let me tell you, I recommend Skin. And the wonderful thing about Skin is that you can buy it in bulk from freedomshop.com, which makes it cheaper and more sustainable. So those are the options that are going to be available for you for condoms. So boo, condoms are not vegan by standard, but yay, we're working on it. And yay, it can be bought in bulk. Lubricant. Let me tell you, I love lubricant. Most people feel perhaps a little bit apprehensive about lubricant. I don't need lubricant, you know. There's this sense of I should be enough on my own, but it's not about that with sex, and it's not about that with adult products. I think that's so important to highlight. Adult products are not a replacement. They're not saying that you're not good enough on your own. What they're saying is, hey, there's so many ways to enjoy life. Let's see what we can do by adding a few things into the mix. And lubricant is great for that. But again, lubricant does present some problems for vegans. Some of them involving animal urine, apparently. But the other ones are much more ingredients and environment based. So obviously we want to try and reduce the impact that our choices are making on the environment. If you want to do that, you need to make sure that you're avoiding the ingredients such as parabens, which aren't only going to be bad for you, but then when you dispose of these products and there's residue left, that might impact the environment. The animals, it's the same as the microbeads and the glitter issue. And then unfortunately, sometimes you will get lubricants that are FDA medically approved, and they can be tested on animals to get to that point, which is actually horrific to think about, but sadly this is the world we live in. So if you are using a lubricant, you may be confronted with the fact that this lubricant might have some problematic ingredients, and it might have also been tested on an animal. So what do we do to avoid these sorts of situations? Hey, vegan alternatives! Oh, I love it. Especially when it comes to oral lube, because there's an additional element there, especially with the urine one. Again, Liquid, fantastic lubricant company, amazing lubricants. Not only are they giving vegan lubricants, but they donate to a lot of animal save projects. They donate to a lot of shelters. They do a lot of good. So the money that you put in them will, in a lot of cases, go back into making sure that animals are safe and protected. Wicked Sexual Care, those are vegan by default. And let me tell you, their Mocha Java oral lubricant tastes just like a Starbucks mocha latte frappuccino, and that is good. Intimate Earth, personally one of my favorites. They do a melt lubricant, which is a warming lubricant, which in itself is a fun sensation, and it's cinnamon flavored, and oh my god, it's another one to appreciate. And oh, how wonderful that we have these amazing adult vegan products that we can engage in and enjoy. I love it. But some people like to keep things a bit more natural, and I can completely respect that as well. A lot of people, if they do this, tend to go for something like a coconut oil, an olive oil, something oil-based. If you're doing that, please do not do it with latex, because it is corroding. If you've ever had an experiment, some people in sex education will blow up a balloon, add some oil, rub it on there, and that, not blow up a balloon, blow up a condom, keeping it adult, add some oil, rub it on there, and that will burst. It tears it, it can provide micro tears, which then puts you at risk of STDs and all of the other nasties, the baby as well, which you might not want if you're using a condom. I don't think you want that. In which case you are going to have to avoid latex and polyisoprene. You can still use your coconut oil and keep things as pure and vegan as you want, but you're going to have to go for polyurethane condoms, and that is a bit harder. If you do not go for the Pazant unique condom. I have never heard a good thing about it. And I also believe that the Femidon is made out of polyurethane by default. So again, it's another thumbs up for that. Sex toys! Hey, it's the fun stuff, but it's also extensive. There are so many things that count as sex toys, which also means that there are so many things that you need to consider for it. So some of the highlights would be materials. We're vegan here, and vegan is about protecting animals from unnecessary cruelty and suffering. That includes yourself. We're all animals, so please, please, please avoid jelly toys, avoid cyber and real skin, avoid PVC and latex toys. Not only because these things have chemicals in them that are bad for the environment, but they are bad for you as well. Jelly toys can actually off-gas chemicals. They are products that are constantly corroding. They are cheap, but they are cheap because they are cheaply made, and they actually can absorb bodily fluids as well. So they're porous, they can cause chemical burns, and some of them have had radioactive ingredients in them. So you don't want that, and you definitely don't then want to dispose of that in the environment and animals as well as other animals as well as yourself. That's the environmental impact as well. You can get toys that are one use and then you're throwing it away, and then it's going into a landfill, and then it's hurting other animals. Battery usage, how's that going into the environment? How is that impacting the animals? Is that in line with our values as vegans? Then there are things like company ethics. Obviously, we want to make sure that the industries that we support are not supporting animal cruelty, animal testing, anything that might involve that, and that they're not actually, that their values are not damaging the human animal as well, and on that level, because let me tell you, there have been some things. For example, one company, when they found out about the celebrity photo nude leaks, decided to make a celebrity photo nude leak sex doll. And it's a case of, are these companies that are in keeping with our values in general, because we do have to care about all animals, and that includes the human animal, and obviously there are so many intersections. This is the thing about veganism, and this is why, to some degree, it's so important to us. If you're cruel to an animal, how are you going to treat other people? If you find exploitation in this one system, how does that then impact all of us? If you're okay with making a nude leak, what are you okay with on the animal place, and vice versa? So it is so important to invest in those companies that you know are going to positively invest in culture, society, and their own impact on the environment, etc. And then you've got kink, leather paddles, leather corsets. Oh, I love them so much. Not vegan, obviously. And you've got to think about, if you are a kinkster, how are you going to navigate the kink field, which is so heavily leather-based in some instances, and still stay vegan and still keep in value with your morals. Again, and I'm going to have to keep this quick, because obviously we ran over with the last talk. Absolutely no issue with that, but I don't want to run over too much either. So let's have it. So when it comes to sex toys, material, for your own safety as well as for the safety of the animals, please, please, please do never buy jelly. Never. If you see jelly, run a mile. If you see cyber skin, run a mile. Just for me, do me a solid. Do yourself a solid as well. Sometimes literally, because some of the materials you can use are gloves, metal, wood, precious stone, but the more practical ones, the ones that you can get much more generally and much more affordable now, which makes me so happy, is the silicone and ABS plastic. Both of those, if you treat them right, if they are pure silicone, will last you for a lifetime. So take good care of those, and they will take good care of you. Let me tell you that. Avoid one-use products if you can, and try to purchase rechargeable toys. So many toys now are USB rechargeable, and that is absolutely fantastic. Please, please, please never get yourself a wind-up sex toy. I'm sure that it sounds wonderfully vegan, but it will not give you the vibrations that you want, let me tell you that. So opt for one that plugs into the mains, or opt for one that is rechargeable, or just opt for the natural products that don't require any charge if you like to keep it that way. Support the companies that are going to support you, that have good ethics, that potentially donate to animal charities, because there are some out there like that. For example, vegan companies like Ethical Kink, great for the kinksters, which will actually have, I think, every single product on their site is vegan. They look specifically for kink items that are going to cater to your vegan interests. There are small-scale companies that will make sure that nothing that they do is against vegan values, and it's all high-quality products. And if you invest in these companies, or if you just approach a company and ask, how do your things keep in line with veganism, what materials do you use, etc. If you communicate with a company and they positively communicate back, those are the companies that you want to try to support. Because the more that we can talk to companies, get their interest, and then invest in them, the more impact we can have in this world, in anything, but in the adult industry as well. And let me tell you, the adult industry, the adult community is wonderfully connected. And if you try and talk to companies, most of the time they will listen and they will engage with you. And if you're in doubt of what companies out there have strong morals, come to people like me. Look for bloggers, because we want to represent and take care of people. This is the thing. I am blogging about sex, not because I really love sex toys, although let me tell you I do. It's because I want everyone in this world to have an amazing, wonderful, educated and informed sexual experience. I want them to feel empowered, confident and happy And I want them to feel that way in every regard of their life, and in every aspect of their life, including as a vegan. And so when you talk to these bloggers, when you talk to me, when you talk to others, we're going to give you the best advice that we can, because we want you to be able to have those powerful experiences. We want you to get the best out of your sex lives, and we want to make sure that you are in the know about that. So, a few final thoughts. I know that for some of you may not have known that some of these products weren't vegan. I've thrown a lot of information at you, and some of it can be shocking and frustrating, and I understand that, especially seeing as I could not go into the intricacies of every single sex toy that's out there, and there are quite a few, and some of them were just, even I didn't know they existed until someone comes to me and says, hey, can you review this? And I'm like, whoa, this is a new world, but okay, yes, just give me like a month, I will get something out there for you. But I think the important thing is that we know, as vegans, it's not just a diet, despite what some people think, it's a lifestyle, and it's so important to take that holistically and to apply it to every aspect of your life and feel good about it. And it's so important to then do that with your sex and sexuality. And the wonderful thing is we can combine these things. It just, as with anything as a vegan, requires a little bit more research, I think. So, thank you so much for listening to me ramble for 20 minutes. And please do let me know if you have any questions. Anyone? Feel free to speak up. Ah, good. You're terrible. No, you can mind. But I've got some cards at the back. Just before you go out the door, if anyone did want to talk to me, and I'll be around for a little while and around and about. So if you see me, feel free.